All right, anyone else want to speak on it, or should we move on to voting?
If there's a motion on the floor, let's take the vote if there's no points of information. Okay, go ahead. Let all those in favor say aye.
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 I see a couple thumbs ups too. Great. All those against say nay or put it in the chat. Or do a thumbs down. Okay, passes unanimously. And again, for the record, Sean called the motion, I seconded. And it passed. Okay, back to you, Celine.
Okay. Okay, now there's a sign-on letter. So we just received this very last minute today regarding sign on to demand hiring a full-time responsive registrar for Alameda County because there was a miscalculation. So a lot of people are actually very concerned about the election process. So in order to have trust, people would like to have someone hired full-time to be responsive and be part of the register of Alameda County or Alameda County voter registrar. And this is what they sent us, asked us if we could support by signing on to the letter.
Who sent the request?
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Who sent the request?
Let me double check.
I think it was Wellstone.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, I asked him to come around this time, but oh wait, I think I asked him to come around 7:50 because originally we had them on 7:50. So I don't know if they'll come maybe like in about 8 minutes. But let me put it in the group chat just in case you guys want to review it.
Okay, but they're definitely gonna come on.
That's what they said. Yeah,
Okay.
I hope so.
Well, maybe we can, do we have, since you're the person presenting for the next one, maybe we can move to that, at least temporarily.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, and I'm going to present the next thing on the agenda as we wait for the person to come on to talk about the sign-on letter. So the Alameda County Board Commissions and Committee, they're having a lot of vacancy opening up. I really encourage you guys to go on the website and sign up for these new commissions that are open. And a lot of the time you don't have to live within that district within Alameda County. As long as you live in Alameda County, which pretty much all of you guys are, then you can sign, you can apply for these seats based on the districts. There's one that's coming up, the Elections Committee, and that is quite contentious. So if you guys are very concerned about how the register of voters is operating, so definitely apply for that. Yeah, isn't it crazy that you actually don't need to live in the area? You just have to live in Alameda County. Yeah, and then write the best as you can, and then hopefully have the board member to appoint you. And also one thing that I learned is that if you think the process is not fair, you can request a PRA and ask for like email, and everything should be publicized to make sure everything is fair.
What's a PRA?
Oh wait. Public Record Act. So what happens is that anything you ever had exchange with the government entity or agency, they have to publicize. Of course, they will redact personal information, but any email exchange, they'll go into details to make sure that the process is transparent.
Which of these are some of the most powerful, or you said elections was hotly contested, but we should also start thinking about filling up these boards and commissions with young people and making our voices heard. That's where a lot of the work kind of can happen.
Yeah, and in addition, there's a 12-year term limit. And a lot of time they just keep on reappointing the same people over and over again because we don't have enough people applying. So please do apply. They would love new, fresh faces. And do let me know if you need someone to do a recommendation internally. We also accept recommendation, make sure that we have someone to vouch for you. But definitely elections committee is one of the hottest right now. Oh wait, Richard cannot get in. Because election committee, we have to appoint people by August 1st. So we do have a deadline. And also for the record, I do work for Alameda County. So that's why I changed the pronoun, the association. We have to appoint people by August 1st, and we are actively seeking people to fill all these commissions. And then when you go through vacancy seats, you see so many vacancies. So, and then when you click on them, you just look for for instance, the Veterans Affairs Commission. I have a friend who's a veteran, and then you would go through members and then see which district. A lot of the time they just say, hey, at large, and then this would be representing District 3. But for other commissions, for instance, all in steering committee, or even other, a lot of time they just need the people to live within Alameda County instead of within that district. And if you click on each of the role, you would see qualification and also where they represent.
Susan, I might apply for the D5 Arts Commission spot. I live in D5, and
Oh,
I'm
perfect.
arts organizations and work with a lot of young arts organizations. So interested in trying to make the county in arts grants infrastructure more responsive for people trying to do new things. But I would love to sit down with you for a bit and talk about how to put that in the best possible framing.
Yeah.
It be an internal recommendation. I'd like that as well.
Oh yeah, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, do give me a heads up if you guys are interested in applying. That way we have we can give recommendations internally.
Yeah, I'll DM you and we can take it offline. Thanks.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Oh, Richard just came on.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to say something, or where are we on the agenda? Sorry.
This is actually your monologue, Richard, so you're right on time.
Yeah. I was waiting for Lylon to come on, so I just started to talk about Alameda County Board commissions and committee. I really want to encourage more young Dem to apply because we have people who've been serving on the committees for over 12 years, even though there's only a 12-year limit. And especially Lylon is here to talk about, we really want to have or demand hiring of a full-time responsive registrar of voters, someone to be accountable for election committee. So we actually, in the meantime, we have an election committee application that's due August 1st. But different offices, we have different deadline. For instance, I work for Supervisor Tam's office. Our deadline is July 14. That way we can interview people starting next Monday, July 17th, and then we make the appointment by August 1st. Yeah, so please do apply for election commission. There is a deadline. And then for other commissions, do apply as soon as possible. If you do apply, please let me know. So I know who to put, like a referral or, or a letter of recommendation as well. And any questions regarding Alameda County Boards, Commissions, and Committees? Oh, Tina. Okay. Okay, with that, I'm gonna give my mic to Lylon. So I'm so sorry if I'm saying your name incorrectly.
No,
so-
you got it right.
Okay. Thank you for being
Impressively,
here.
most people don't get it right.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks
and
for having me, especially. No, thanks for putting me on the last minute request.
worries.
So I'm
This
glad
is
I made it
great
onto your
because-
agenda.
This is great because I'll be on the same topic anyways, because I really want to encourage people to apply for election committee, especially young Dem, and make sure it's keeping them accountable, right? So I'm gonna give
Yeah,
you.
totally. That sounds great. Yeah, thanks for having me. My name is Lylon Hewen. I used to be a member of East Bay Young Dems, but aged out. So it's great to see a new crop of leaders here. And yeah, I'm here representing the Wellstone Education Committee. And I've been involved in Oakland Unified School District. Well, I grew up in Oakland Unified School District since the first grade, but I have been involved in meaningful student engagement work for about 20 years and have worked in many different schools and now work for the OUSD's Office of Equity, where we do anti-racist learning work and support students who are most struggling in our school district. And so as Wellstone Education Committee, we follow, a lot of what's going on in terms of the elections of the school board members, in terms of Oakland youth vote, right? And also the Berkeley youth vote. And so we were watching, many mistakes and delays happening with the implementation of the youth vote, which has been disenfranchising thousands of young people. And I was personally involved in supporting our All City Council Student Union, which fought for the Oakland youth vote so hard, like for many, many years. And then we're very disappointed when they got disenfranchised because the registrar didn't move fast enough to implement it. And other cities have implemented this, right? It's not rocket science, right? And they just kind of dragged their feet. And so we were disappointed by that. And then when the major mistake happened last fall to swear in the wrong school board member, which has led to delays in a lot of votes that have happened for OUSD that are now split because we're delayed on kind of getting the right representative and the representative for District 5 now. It's been basically a big mess. And a lot of that came down to the registrar just not doing his job, right? There were residents who came to them and said, you made a mistake. You all didn't count these votes correctly, right? And they basically just ignored the residents of Alameda County who are very vigilant. You all know, right? Our citizens and our voters are very active. They look at these numbers. They can tell if a mistake has been made, and he didn't respond to any of those concerns. So that should have been nipped in the bud right away before the people were certified. And we would have avoided a really big mess and the wrong person getting sworn into office, which I saw with my own very eyes and was super frustrated about. So anyway, those are just some of the mistakes that the registrar has made. And as we dug deeper, we realized that this person is not full-time. We were told by people on the inside that this person is the technology director. So Tim Dupuy was the technology director and then basically splits his time between being a technology director and the registrar. And as Alameda County is one of the most active, counties for voters, but also, a place where we have some of the highest disproportionality of, young people of color, right? Low income folks not even being registered or engaged in the voting process. We need someone who's in the registrar's office who actually cares about that stuff, who's out there in the community trying to register people, really doing that voter education work, partnering with the schools to actually do the voter education work in our high schools, right? We need someone who's full-time, dedicated, who actually cares about these issues that are brought up to the registrar's office. And so you can kind of see in this open letter that we drafted many different reasons why this person who's in the current office is not the right person. The county could technically keep him as technology director, but hire someone who actually has elections experience. We understand that he didn't really have elections experience before he was put into this role. So someone who actually cares about voting, someone who's good at their job, who's been trained in how to run a registrar would be great. And we just think that Alameda County deserves more. So we are asking organizations to sign on and hoping to bring it to the Alameda Democratic Central Committee in August. And so we would like, allies to be there, like virtually, just like in spirit and backing this call for the Democratic Central Committee to pass a resolution to basically say we've lost confidence in this registrar. And the reason why we have to do this is because as we understand it, the supervisors don't actually they don't actually hire and fire. We believe it's the county administrator who hires and fires or replaces the registrar. But at the same time, the supervisors have also said, oh, we like this guy. The only person who's brave enough to kind of speak up against him is Keith Carson, as usual. And so we have realized that we need to put political pressure on the supervisors as our public officials, and for them to be able to put pressure on the county administrator to do something about this situation. Because when we've brought it up, people have been like, oh, there's nothing we can do. And I'm like, these are public officials. They need to be held accountable. They're paid with their tax dollars. And if they're not doing a good job, then we have to be able to do something about it. So we feel like that one of the only ways is to put political pressure from the Democratic clubs and saying, if you don't do something about this situation, and if more and more people get disenfranchised and more mistakes are made and people lose trust in our democratic elections, which we know is a national problem, then we won't support you in the future. We won't, endorse you. So it's one of the leverage points that we have. So as democratic organizations, we're hoping that you can stand with us. Let me know if you have any questions.
I move approval.
I have
For
questions.
questions.
Yeah.
Better questions answered. Who has supported this so far? And I was trying to find an org chart for the registrar of voters. Just to be clear, do you also have a candidate in mind?
Not necessarily. Yeah, we haven't done that work on that side. I think there would have to be, a search and an actual hiring process for someone who's qualified would be great. So right now we have Oakland Rising Action signed on. We have the MGO Democratic Club, Block by Block Organizing Network, and a bunch of other folks have kind of been contacted. WAPA's like talking about it right now as well. And yeah, we have a list of other folks that folks are reaching out to. I think, yeah, some of the other John George Democratic Club. Yeah, some of the other Democratic clubs as well, and local organizations, but those are the ones we have so far.
Given the prior performance of the registrar of voters, do you have confidence that if this resolution were to pass and if they were to appoint, if the administrator were to appoint someone, that they would appoint a competent person?
We would hope so. I mean, I think the point is to build the public pressure and make sure that people know that they're watching, so that they would have to, hire and go through a better process to hire someone who's more qualified. But yeah, I think it's, if anybody knows, any good registrars out there, that would be great. But I think, you know, the point is really, yeah, to put the public pressure on to do the right thing. Yeah, I think it's just the county administrator who oversees him. And from what I've heard, like that person is been in there for a long time. You know, it's a lot of status quo politics kind of going on right now. And we just think that, you know, it should be a more democratic and responsive government.
Yeah, bluntly, my confidence in the administrator conditional at best.
In the supervisors, you said?
No, with
the county administrator.
Yes, with the county administrator. I mean, I live in Keith Carson's district, so
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I think I know what I need to hear.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions? Going once, going twice. Okay, Olivia.
Yeah, I got a quick question, and it's purely me being a newbie. I moved to California about like a year ago now. But is there a reason why this position wasn't previously filled before? Just out of curiosity.
The registrar? Well, it was the person before, what's his name? I think it was McDonald's. He was pretty good and well respected. And I think that's one reason, from what I understand, is that because he was so much better, he was more engaged in the community. He, you know, was trying to expand voter registration. Seeing like the contrast between this new guy and the old guy is kind of like, okay, we know we deserve better because we've had better service. That guy was way more responsive. That guy was much more interested in hiring people to make sure that everything was translated, that people were out there in the community in different languages, talking to different communities, especially immigrant communities, to make sure that they could vote. So I think that is the issue. And I think that it's possible that he also had a split job. And I think the county is just trying to save money on this. But again, we really think that, yeah, there needs to be another position. But yeah, we've definitely always had a registrar, and different cities do it in different ways. And some cities, as I've researched, do split the role. But again, we're a very large county. We have a lot of people who could be registered to vote who aren't. And there needs to be more work there.
Oh, I know I said I'm done. I have one comment. If it's closed already, that's fine. But when I first read the thing, seeing the word registrar, I was a bit concerned if it was like a clerk recorder or if it was a registrar of voters. So if there's any room to specify that you mean registrar of voters, that'd be awesome. But people have already signed it.
Yeah, no, we do have on the form a space to just make any tweaks in language, so we could change that.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's try to go to Celine 2.0. What is your real name? The one with the hand raised, your name is Celine's. You want to go ahead and talk?
Is that me?
Yeah,
Oh. This is actually Jason. I'll rename myself right now. My apologies, but it's more of a comment than a question. I just wanted to thank you for, doing this work. I've been very frustrated about what I heard, not only during this meeting but also before, about the current person that's in this office. So thank you for doing this work. Yeah, that's more of a comment than a question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason, and agreed. Noor?
Would this bring us, would it be, how do like Contra Costa County, Santa Clara County, San Francisco, the other places in the Bay Area staff this?
Staff this position.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to do research on all the local counties, and you're probably not surprised that the websites don't have a lot of information and transparency around these positions, or a lot of information on their websites. So I did look at as many as I could. And yeah, I'd say there are a few others that have like a split position, but they are smaller jurisdictions with a lot less people that are served. And so the ones that I've heard, I think that are good, I believe do have full-time registrars. And the folks with a lot of people. I think maybe like Santa Clara County seemed like it was like an active registrar. Yeah, but yeah, I would love to know if people have other information or research to share.
I can speak for San Francisco's. Yeah, they do have full-time staff over there. And there's some that really the election commission, which I know Celine, you were talking about before, is very active. And yeah, this type of thing was definitely very concerning when I first heard about it and continues to be. And I think I saw another hand though. I don't want to miss anybody.
Also, one point on that too that we've heard from insiders is, I'm curious to know if you guys know if there are other registrars who operate like this, but you know, they hire new people every election cycle. And what we've heard from insiders is that those folks aren't being properly trained. So there's actually a lot of mistakes that are being made. And I'm curious. And then there's kind of labor, issues in there, right? So I'm curious if other registrars like have more full-time staff or more, staff who are not just like random people off the street being put into these positions to count ballots and adjudicate ballots. That actually takes, some training. But yeah, generally we've heard that folks aren't being trained very well. Yeah. Or compensated well.
Great. Nora, I'm gonna just go ahead and mute you. Celine, will the real Celine please stand up?
Yeah, I agree with Lylon. I was actually a paid election poll worker 6 times. And every time when I do those, I guess like being an election poll worker, like a lot of us are new, and a lot of people, even though we would go through like the 4-hour training, it's still not enough to make sure that it's, errorless and all that. And I know now they try to have or encourage more people to help out, but at the same time, in my opinion, I don't think they're hiring people who are competent enough to do it, because a lot of these are just like one time. They're like, it feels like DoorDash or Uber or Lyft in a way. They're just doing it for that one day, that entire week, just for election, and then later they forget, and then they may not be competent. Yeah.
Right. And even if they wanted to stay on, they couldn't and build their skills and develop expertise. Yep.
Yeah, okay. So going last call for comments, questions, concerns. Okay, can I get a motion? Oh, there's a motion. Can I get a second then? I believe Caleb made the motion. Okay. Who was that? Sorry. I think I saw, well, I saw Sean. So I'm going to give that to Sean for the second. Okay. Let's just go ahead with unanimous consent. So all those who are, if there are any objections, please raise your hand. Jason, please lower your hand if you do not object. Okay. This passes. And Zoom has been horrible, but congratulations. You've received EBYD's support. And thank you so much for coming out and presenting this to us.
Thank you all. So some of the next steps, just so you know, we'll, try to take the Democratic Central Committee. I don't know if you have any reps in there or have folks who go to those meetings to advocate for the resolution, but that would be helpful. And then after that, we're probably going to try to get it published in, some of the local newspapers. If anyone has, particular contacts, let us know, but we have, some contacts. And then potentially meeting with some of the supervisors. If anyone's interested, basically it's on that form. So if you can have someone fill out the form and just register, or willing to meet with supervisors or, send emails or whatnot, that would be great. Yeah, if anyone wants to speak at the next meetings and put pressure. We haven't decided if there's a particular meeting that we're going to all be going to speak at. But just wanting to build the momentum.
And Lailam, would you have recommendations on who wants to apply for election commission?
That's a good question. Yeah, we haven't talked about it on our committee, but I can bring it back, to our folks
I'll send you
and see if
information.
folks had good. That would be great. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thanks everyone. Great to meet y'all. Have a good night.
Thanks. Oh, wait, hold on. Caleb, just a question, or Caleb or James. Can you remind us, do we have to do member noticing for this endorsement?
Yes.
Would be an endorsement? Okay. Okay.
Also, just double checking, it was Megan who called the motion, right?
No, Caleb.
Okay, okay. And we cannot endorse this because we didn't put it on agenda ahead of time.
Yeah, that's the main reason.
Okay.
But I mean, all that means is that like the board has to do the majority vote, so we can rally all of us to do that ASAP tonight, and then I can send an email
Okay.
to members tomorrow, and then start the 48-hour countdown.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, Celine, do you mind reaching out to Leyland to let them know? For some reason, I forgot that you had mentioned in the beginning that this was a last minute request. So thanks for catching that, Ruben. Okay.
Okay. With that, we're moving on to the next item, revision to EBYD bylaws. James, you have the floor.
All right, thank you all so much. Apologies for being off camera. Is there any way that you can pull up the bylaws, or do you need me to drop the link to it?
Can you please drop the link?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a moment, please.
Thank you.
So before we start, I just want to thank everybody for giving me the opportunity to do this bylaw changes. It's been a really good time. And I want to thank everybody, especially the PPAC, for taking over this portion of the meeting last time. So because I know I wasn't at PPAC, and normally this would be and then now we're basically voting in favor of this assuming we want to vote in favor of this, to make sure that we want to pass this at our general membership meeting, which is what is happening right now. Do you have it? Did you get the link?
Yes, I am opening up.
Awesome. So I am pulling it up on my computer as well. Sorry. So it's pretty standard. We do bylaw changes. I can go over it one by one, but I just really want to highlight some of the very important changes that we've made. And I'll take questions. The first thing that we really made a change to is, there's some grammar stuff first and foremost, and then more importantly, there's we added TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and our web communications. And like I said, some minor details. We did add a rule in which hold on. So standing working groups, I think we did take out a lot of the working groups, and we intentionally kept it vague because right now our work, the PPAC has been meeting a lot, but a few of the other groups are not. So we're just gonna make it based on the need of our organization. This one itself shouldn't be controversial because it doesn't really affect like who we endorse, how people get elected into this organization as board members, and or how people qualify to vote. So it's not meant to be controversial. If it is, do ask questions. But basically, this is an administrative change under Article 5, Standing Working Group and Committees. And then the second part goes into the procedures in regards to voting. And this is in regards to a Democrat. Well, so now we're going into the endorsement part, which is what actually matters. The first part that, I mean, they all matter, but contentiously matter. So in regards to the first section where we see section 2, well, first of all, we're going to Article 7 endorsements. In regards to section 2, we actually just eliminated this whole, like, if you run unopposed.
Hold on, James, can you, Celine, do you mind scrolling down to the areas that James is highlighting so that we can view that on the screen?
Oh yeah, sorry. So yeah, scroll down to Article 7, please. So we just took this down. It's not, this actually just makes it where, once again, like, this is very prescriptive. This is basically us giving, like, spelling out how exactly an unopposed person gets endorsed. And we decided to remove it because it's meant to basically, A, it's not prescriptive, and B, like, anybody who wants our endorsement, which we'll get to in a moment, has to fill out a questionnaire. And we just thought that if you want to get endorsed by our organization, you should fill out a questionnaire regardless. And once again, this is way too prescriptive. We can literally just endorse any candidates, including incumbents, as long as they do it in our current standing bylaws in regards to timeline, etc. Which goes to the more, I guess, I don't want to use the word controversial, but the real change, like the real substantial change, which is in regards to you have to fill out a questionnaire or a video submission to qualify to be able to, and I'm not sure if people see it's C under section C, number 5, to be eligible for an endorsement. Historically speaking, we've always put every candidate running, every eligible Democrat running on the ballot, but we are moving away from that. We are making it where you have to fill out a ballot. You have to fill out a questionnaire to be endorsed. To be specific, we have had candidates that we've endorsed who did not fill out a questionnaire. We've also had candidates who did not fill out a questionnaire stop someone who did fill out a questionnaire from getting endorsed. But the bottom line is, and some people are like, oh, well, we want to make sure we endorse all the right people. But the bottom line is, like, this is a way to show that, like, if you want our endorsement, you have to work for it. But more importantly, I think having this as a specific requirement will force people to fill out a endorsement questionnaire. Right now, we haven't had that, so there's actually no reason for any candidate to fill out a questionnaire. And at the end of the day, we want to make sure that people want our work for our endorsement. The other thing is we clarified in regards to what the 60% means. 60%, I mean, this is pretty common knowledge, but in this part, we spelled it out specifically in regards to you have to get 60% of the members present and voting. And then in those contested elections, members shall have the option to vote no endorsement. No endorsements will count against the 60% threshold, but abstentions or leaving the ballot blank will not affect the 60%. So it will technically lower the number to get to 60%. In regards to special procedures for rank choice, first and foremost, there has to be more than 2 candidates. And once again, you have to get 60%. I'm sorry, if you don't get 60% initial votes, there will be retabulation. However, please understand that the no endorsement vote, what makes it a little more tricky is the no endorsement vote will always stay there, so that the no endorsement will never be retabulated. And basically, whichever candidate or candidates get 60% of the initial votes, that candidate shall get the endorsement. And if, let's say, how you get the number 2 vote is, well, just think of it this way: you have to have at least 60% of folks at a minimum rank you, and then through the ranking process, depending on where you are placed, you could be ranked either 1, 2, or 3. So basically, once again, assuming that you did get more than 60 people to rank you, including also factoring the no endorsement part, you could technically get endorsed as number 2. But once again, I want to stress this: you have to get 60% of the vote. There is no way to work around that, and the no endorsement shall continue and not be eliminated to count against the 60% threshold. So it will make counting votes a little more difficult, but that is very important, because the importance of the 60% vote is that when someone gets endorsed by our organization, there shouldn't be a question of like, oh, is this the will of our membership? It's like, no, this is what our club wants. It's not meant to be controversial. And that's what also makes controversial races who are endorsed by us that much more important, and more powerful. This is literally just a cleanup of our current stand. And folks, I'm not looking at if anybody's raising their hand, so I apologize. But if I'm not incorrect regarding ballot measure endorsements for section E, number 2, I think this is pretty standard. I think this was just rewritten to make it sound better, and just to rewritten to make it more consistent with the way that we currently function. If I'm incorrect, let me. Oh.
There's a bit of a change being made here.
Okay.
Basically, what we're saying is that so under our current procedure, all endorsements, whether or not they're noticed ahead of time, we have to go back to our members and give them the opportunity to object. What we're proposing here is we're saying, if something was announced at least 7 days ahead of time as being on the agenda at a meeting for our politics and political affairs membership meeting each month, then we don't have to go back and consult people again, because everyone had an advance heads up it was going to be on the agenda. So we only have to give people that objection window if something pops up as a last minute item, like some of the items we had tonight. So we would still not be, so people would still not be able to walk in with an item and then just have us endorse it instantaneously. You either have to give us 7 days heads up so we can notice it properly, or you have to wait to give people the opportunity to object after the meeting.
I thought, I mean, I'm assuming PPAC vetted this, right, Caleb?
Yeah.
Okay, and I just want to make sure, does this mean that the membership affairs meeting in this case serves as an actual meeting and not a oh yeah, it's a membership meeting. Perfect. And the number one thing that I want folks to really, really realize is it's no longer a policy affairs and it's no longer a policy affairs, a policy and political affairs committee meeting. It's a policy and political affairs membership meeting. This is very, very important because there was a little fuss about it. And it's not that, let's say, for example, I would be against it if it's a policy and affairs committee meeting, because in committees, I don't believe that's where decisions are made, but membership meetings is where decisions are made. So now that this is a membership meeting, like today's meeting is a membership meeting, decisions can be made. So I don't think there's any debate on this, but I just wanted to make sure people know where we're coming from. So hopefully there'll be less questions afterwards, but always welcome the dissent. Okay, so I think that's it. In regard, and then I forgot the markers. Yes, thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Also checking, I forget if we did this, but everyone, especially the new members, we'll drop a link in the chat. Everyone should be dues paying members. And that's, I just want to make sure everyone is. So that's one of the things that we need to put in the chat. Is there anyone who does not remember paying their dues?
Oh, that's important. Thank you.
Please join. We all love you, and we would love your money when you pay dues to become a member. Thank you.
Yes, that is the pitch of the year. Okay, that was it.
And actually, thank you. Oh, you guys just made it more easy. So we made it very easy. We will recognize current Young Democrats, a registered member of the Democratic under 2036 in the endorsement process. How we will do that, I'm assuming, Caleb, please correct me if I'm incorrect, / other PPAC members. I'm assuming we left this vague, not because we don't want there to be a marker, but because endorsement process can evolve, can change. That doesn't mean we can't have a star next to Young Dems means, right? It just means that we're leaving it open for those who are running the endorsement process.
Yeah, we're just leaving the implementation.
Okay.
It's a little bit up in the air.
Yeah, so and the reason why this is all designed like this is because at the end of the day, like, we don't want to be prescriptive. We do want to be prescriptive in regards to like how we're counting the votes, how exactly we can capture the full sentiment, how we accurately capture the sentiment of our organization. But in regards to, like, for example, how candidates are marked, oops, just kidding. You know, we're going to let the folks who are in charge of that process decide. So those are it. I'm really excited. Thank you for letting me do this. I really appreciate y'all. And I am now officially here ready to take questions. And while I did say, you know, I'm not taking any changes or whatever during the actual meeting or whatever, like, you know, at the end of this, this is a democracy. Like, I'm not going to silence you or tell you you can't do anything. So please express yourself. I also know that bylaw meetings are extremely boring. As a matter of fact, I brought someone to an EBYD meeting hoping that they'd be a member, but then I brought them to a bylaws meeting and they never came back. So hopefully for those of you who attend first time, please come back. Please raise your hand. I am literally stalling. Okay.
Should we move to a vote? Are we voting on this?
You can simply motion to vote.
Motion. Can I
To
motion?
approve
I think
the
I can motion.
Okay, do you want a motion? Can I maybe say the motion and just say so moved? So the motion will be to approve the bylaw changes that is made under track changes for the 2023 revised bylaws for the East Bay Young Democrat. That makes sense, right? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna actually make a copy of this so that way I'm gonna what do you call it? I'm gonna need to figure out a way to accept all the track changes and then not, because I want to have, I'll probably make a PDF copy of this and then accept all the track changes so we can have it in the minutes of what was changed, and then we can upload this official thing into the website. I don't know who will update to this website, so whoever's doing it, thank you. I appreciate you. You're seen when you do it.
That's me, Ruben.
Oh, thank you, Ruben. You will be seen. And praised. So any other questions, comments? Okay, once again, okay, so Tina motion. I do need a seconder. Would anybody be willing to second?
Second, Jason Park.
Jason, okay. Jason, I'm assuming you're taking minutes, or is this, or Celine's taking minutes?
I believe
Yeah.
Celine's. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. I just want to make sure this is accurately reflected. Okay, cool. So, am I supposed to do this part, Celine, or are you, or Megan? Are you supposed to do this part? I don't want to overstep.
You can do it.
Okay, thank you, Megan. So yeah, all those in favor, I guess. Is it okay if we have people like raise their hand or something, or just say aye? You can be obnoxious. Just say aye, like one of those like happy birthday everybody
Aye.
sing.
Aye.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Anybody oppose?
I'll abstain until I can find my receipt.
Oh, okay.
Why don't we do this for folks, because there's a couple of folks who need to be just confirmed. We have record of who is here because folks did vote on other items. So I'll just work. I'll work with Caleb and Kelly to go through and go back to you all. And if you all can find receipt, that'd be great. But if we don't have record, then you can just pay it for it.
Yeah.
Okay, James, you can resume the vote.
I think James may have dropped off. I saw someone named James Chang trying to get in.
Says he's back now.
Okay.
Reconnecting, yeah. But I think the vote just. Sorry, I just saw Libby's message. I was going to say, I think that we just concluded the vote and I think it passed. So I think we can move on to the next item.
Yes, and I just want to once again thank everybody for being part of this. Thank you so much, and I will
Thank
once
you,
again,
James.
I will once again save this as a. I'll send it to the person whoever's doing the minutes. I'm going to send it to you. Okay, I'm actually going to do it now, and I'll send it to you too, Ruben. Thank you. Bye. Back to you. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you so much. And then with that, we're gonna move on to our next. I'm sorry, we're like, yeah, way past our time. But next we have is Richard. Would you like to give us an update on candidate endorsement committee?
Okay. Cool. Hi. Just I wanted to check, did we talk about San Leandro rent control?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, cool. All right. So some of y'all are on candidate endorsement committee and have been to the meetings. Thank you very much. So you already know pretty much most of what I'm going to say, but we have some new folks here. And so I just want to give an update sort of holistically on where the organization's at. Oh yeah, and if you all have to drop, because I know we're over time, that's also totally fine. I will only be a little bit offended. We decided as an organization, the candidate endorsement committee really wants to focus on Senate District 7, State Senate District 7, as like our primary headline race that we focus on this year, just due to the competitive nature of the race, due to us having the bulk of our membership in that district, and all of that, and the profile of the race. We're also going to be looking at California's congressional 12th district. And we're also planning on doing some stuff for the US Senate candidates if possible. That's a little bit more up in the air. The other two races are more of our focuses. For Senate District 7, we already have questionnaires sent out to all the candidates. And one update that I want to give to everybody is Javanka Beckel's team reached out earlier today and they have completed the questionnaire. So they're very fast, they are on it. I know we're not supposed to show favoritism right now, but I do appreciate a candidate that can do things quickly and give us a fast turnaround. We are also planning on doing a
that we are
debate of that.
I will just note, as an organization, we are in no way showing favorship over one candidate in this race, regardless of personal affiliations and et cetera.
I know, I was joking, Megan, but thank you. We are planning on doing a debate event for the candidates. This will happen in August. We're probably looking right now, tentatively August 24th, that Thursday. We do want to do it in person, and the idea of the event is we do want candidates to be able to interact with one another. And so more details on that to come. California 12th Congressional District, we have sent out questionnaires as well. We've heard back, not on questionnaire responses, but just like, yes, we got the email. We heard back from 3 candidates, which are Latifah Simon's team, Jennifer Tran, and Denard Ingram, who is a former EBYD member before he aged out. And it is looking like we are going to be doing a mixer style event, so not a debate style, but mixer style event for that race in September. And it is looking likelier and likelier that it will be Thursday, September 21st from 6 to 8 p.m. in the evening. We also plan for this to be in person because it is hard to do a mixer, if not impossible, virtually. James, I see your hand up.
My hand is specifically up, hoping that you'd finish and then I ask questions.
Okay, cool. I will talk over you then. So that's California District 12. Megan is working on outreach to the US Senate candidates, as we know we want to do endorsements for that race, but whether or not meet and greets arise will be totally up to candidate availability. And if we do any meet and greets, it will likely be virtual. And so that's sort of the gist of it. One thing that I realize now that I've forgotten to mention at previous candidate endorsement committee meetings is I would like to, and I'm totally fine to do this sort of on my own, or like have just a small few number of people to help me out on this. One race I didn't mention that is personally somewhat important to me is State Senate District 5. For folks who don't know, this is all of San Joaquin County plus Eastern Alameda County. So it's personally relevant to me because I live out in Dublin and Tri-Valley, and I've been redistricted into that district. That is an open seat now. The incumbent is term limited, and it is a somewhat competitive seat. And so I know we haven't talked about that race really that much, but I would like to ask that EBYD and the candidate endorsement committee take a look at that race and see if we can do an endorsement in that race. It's not as high a priority as the others, but I think it's definitely one that's worthwhile. And that I'm hoping that we at least have some membership in. James, go for it. I will call on you now.
Thank you. First and foremost, thank you for all you do. So a couple of things. I only think we should do what you just proposed, your last thing in regards to this SD5. I'm assuming you're willing to lead this, but if there is actually board capacity, I don't know if we need to discuss this today or we need to discuss this with the board, but once again, I'm down for it if there is capacity. And if we've talked about this in our other meeting, like if you want to lead the whole thing and do it, like maybe, but just know that like we need to plan things like the gala, etc. But I do get what you're saying, because if the Young Dems do endorse, let's say, the challenger candidate, kind of like what we did with our SD7 race last time, SD9, Nancy Skinner's race, we endorsed Nancy Skinner, even though Sandra was endorsed by Barbara Lee, Tony Thurman, and Rob Bonta. Like it could make a difference, but the point is, like, it's a capacity issue, and also whether or not it's worth making a play. The other issue is, and obviously we don't favor one candidate over another. The other thing is, I just want to know, because I did help reach out to Javanka's team. Did every candidate fill out the timesheet in regards to when they are able to meet? If yes, yay, let us know what is agreed upon. And then I'm happy to reach out to all the other candidates who have not filled out a questionnaire. So just wanted to let you know for that as well.
Thanks. No, Javanka was the only one that told us when she was available. The other candidates have not replied yet. And so if anybody has connections to those candidates, that's looking at you, Jesse Arreguin, Catherine Leibarger, Dan Kalb, Ernesto Falcon, and
so
Tim
none of the
Sanchez.
candidates have replied to us. None of the candidates have replied to us besides Javanka.
Javanka has, yes.
No, I know. Okay, I was under the exact opposite impression, so I will help you. Okay.
Okay, cool.
I'm done. Thank you. I'm happy to help you. Let's get this done. Okay.
And to be clear, didn't we also give them till the 26th to respond?
To the questionnaire, yes. I'm just saying, so we're not expecting them to respond to the questionnaire by now. I'm just saying none of them have given us an acknowledgement of receipt. of the email yet, other than Javanka.
But to be clear, I'm sorry, Megan, you have the floor.
Yes, I do. And so I'm gonna, okay, I already forgot what I was gonna say at this point, actually. Okay, I remembered. So, I think that there was some concern that was raised, and I think we have a couple of new folks who are here today. And it would be great if we could potentially get some volunteers to help with some of our efforts that James did mention, where we are going to move forward with our gala, in addition to the mixers that we are going to be planning. So mixers / candidate forums and such. But that's kind of something that, especially if folks are looking to get more involved, it would be great to have more hands on deck, and also invite friends to the work ahead. And this is obviously very important stuff because it affects all of us. And you have a hand in meeting the leadership of the next kind of not only this race, but other races as well. And then I did want to circle back to the point that was raised. Yes, and we're fun to hang out with, about this in particular. I think we just need to reach, to hopefully to close the loop, but I see James, you have your hand again. It's just we reach out and just ping them. I can ping at least the contacts I have. So I think amongst us, we can ping the folks who we do have contacts with. And if we're missing anybody, then we need to just let them know, hey, we sent this question, we want the questionnaire by this date, but we actually would really like the date by this time. And if that wasn't specified in the email, then that's an error on our part that we should correct in the future. Okay, back to you.
Bye, Sean.
Bye, Sean.
Or James, you talk. I'm going to drop in my email in the chat. Yes, I was going to mention it. Megan, thank you for mentioning it. There are some new folks here. We would love to get you on the candidate endorsement committee. It's not some exclusive elitist bullshit organization sub thing that is part of this club. We do want to see more volunteers, and we would appreciate more help always. And so please reach out to me on my email, and I will get you added to that. However much or however little time and effort you can donate is very much appreciated. James, go for it.
And to be clear, we're also looking for volunteers for a gala. I don't want to say it's more important because actually the endorsement is technically more important, but like in regards to us getting candidates to fill out a questionnaire or turning times in, I think we got this. Richard, just quickly, I know Megan said the due date is the 20th, 20 something for the questionnaire, but when was the due date for the times? Because I really want to lock down a time. So that's why I'm really urgent to help you. Really, not because I am obsessed. It's because I really just want to lock down a date and the time. So when are we supposed to have them respond to us with the time?
So Maria's technically correct. We also said the 26th, just because we knew when the endorsement is due is probably when they're going to tell us that they submitted the endorsement questionnaire. If you want to chase them down earlier, obviously, I am amenable to that. That'd be great if we can lock them down earlier. But I also didn't want to rush them and knew that they were probably going to talk to us by the 26th anyway.
Did you do this through Google form, or what was the, oh, you just gave them 3 options, right? For the dates, and you just want them to respond back with the 3 options?
Yeah, we said, because the committee decided Thursdays in August for the Senate District 7 event, and then Thursdays in September for the California Congressional 12th District event. So that limits it to 4 days.
Got it. Okay, got
Thanks,
it.
Amber. I will get to you. And I think we should have your email, because when you registered for this meeting, we tracked your email. And so, James, were you going to say something?
No,
Okay,
Who sent the Jesse
cool.
email? Richard, who sent the Jesse email? I'm gonna send you this email so you make, I don't know who sent it, so this is the one that should have been sent to, is what I'm being told.
All right, Caleb is leading our Senate District 7 efforts, so I would like Caleb to do it if he can.
All right, he's off, so
Is he
I'll,
on here?
no, but I'll.
Okay, never mind.
I could just send it to him.
Cool.
I'm sorry for asking you to do this, but can you drop the link for our planning for this? So that way I can see who all the candidates are, so I can help hunt these folks down as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. We don't need to vote for anything, right? I think
It's
we
in
can
our-
move forward.
No, we don't need to move. I mean, we don't need to vote on anything. There was one more thing really quickly I wanted to touch on. If you're part of the board, you're probably sick and tired of hearing me say this, but since we do have new folks here, I did want to make a plug that there is a virtual meet and greet being hosted by the Tri-Valley Dems this Thursday, 6 to 6:30 p.m. over Zoom. I will send that event details page in the chat. There is also next Saturday, not this upcoming Saturday, so next Saturday, the 22nd at 10 a.m. There is an in-person meet and greet also hosted by the Tri-Valley Dems with Adam Schiff, and it will be at the IBE W595 Hall in Dublin, which is not that far, despite what some of y'all may think. It's not that far. I will also drop the info for that event in the chat as well. And please let me know if there are any questions on either of those. Does anybody else have any other questions? And James, I'm looking for that sheet.
I'm just so grateful for you. And actually, do we want to get feedback on your SD5 thing? Because otherwise, I think Richard is ready to move forward. I mean, Richard, you need feedback on that, right, for SD5?
I am happy, honestly, to do if people don't have the capacity. Or Amber, I don't know where you live. If you can let me know. Fremont, okay. That's somewhat close to SD5, but not quite. Okay, but if you're willing to get more involved, I am happy to have you help me on reaching out to those candidates, because I do want to encourage new members to be able to have the opportunities to help out. So
and
I will
Richard,
talk to you, Amber, and yes, huh?
And Richard, just to make sure, this is not meant to be like a debate like what we're doing for SD7. This is just meant to be like another meet and greet, and it could very well be a tagged on meet and greet or a separate one. But the point is that's not supposed to be as intricate as SD7, correct?
I wasn't even planning on doing an event for SD5. I just want us to do an endorsement in that race.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah, because so far we haven't really talked about it, but I wanted to talk about it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I found that spreadsheet and I will put it in the chat. And I think that's all from me, unless anyone else has any questions. And again, my email's in the chat. Please reach out to me if you want to be involved even in the slightest bit. Celine. Celine.
Wait, what? Sorry, I was like,
I'm turning it back to you. I'm
oh, okay. I was like, I didn't have my hand raised. Okay. Richard, do you mind if you send me the event information so I can add it to the meeting minute?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, perfect. Okay, with that, does anyone have any questions or comments? Okay, going once, twice. Okay, and now meeting. Oh, wait, I think I just received a message. I don't know who messaged me. Oh, okay. Meeting adjourned. Thank you so much for your patience and sorry for the tech technical difficulties. So I really appreciate everyone coming today and also having new members here. So please do stay in touch with us. Apply for boards and commission. We need young meat. We need young voices. We need fresh new faces.
You say young meat?
Yes.
We need able bodies, y'all.
Yes.
Or, I'm sorry, differently able to, we are inclusive. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's stop this recording here.